6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news, edited by Lakshman Fonseca and read by Mario Vijayawardena. The headlines. The President Ranil Wickremesinghe says no to any ceremonies to mark his first anniversary in office. The government is to strengthen cooperation with New Zealand. The ambassador of Turkey says elements of the Fethullahist terrorist organization eliminated from Sri Lanka after successful joint efforts. An effective long-term program to be launched to integrate institutions related to the tourism industry. The government says the new Central Bank Act will help to maintain its sovereignty. In world news, ChatGPT owner in probe over risks around false answers. In sports news, Tarushi Karunaratne breaks a 25-year-old Asian record to win gold. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has instructed not to conduct any ceremonies to celebrate his first anniversary in office as head of state. The leader of the United National Party, Ranil Wickremesinghe, was sworn in as the 8th Executive President of Sri Lanka on the 21st of July 2022. The President was elected through a parliamentary vote to serve the remaining term of his predecessor, former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. President Wickremesinghe, who holds several portfolios, including defence and finance, has managed to turn around the economy, which is expected to grow in the third quarter. Considering the progress made by the President during the past year, several factions had proposed to organise ceremonies to mark his first anniversary. President Wickremesinghe, however, turned down all requests at a time when the country is recovering from the economic crisis. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says the government is to strengthen cooperation with the government of New Zealand. He said the government is seeking to strengthen the economic, trade and investment partnerships with New Zealand. The Prime Minister made these remarks participating at the official opening ceremony of the New Zealand High Commissioner's office in Colombo. He said the High Commissioner's office will help to strengthen ties between the two countries and the government, focusing benefits from the delegates here in Colombo. New Zealand has cooperated to launch many development projects in Sri Lanka, including the dental school in Maharagama and the National Milk Board, the Prime Minister stated. The new High Commissioner's office will be beneficial for both countries. New Zealand has come forward to help Sri Lanka at many critical junctures, he added. The ambassador of Turkey to Sri Lanka says elements of the Fethullahist terrorist organization, the group behind the foiled 2016 coup bid, have totally been eliminated from Sri Lanka after successful joint efforts by the two nations against terrorism. Addressing the Democracy and National Unity Day commemoration ceremony in Colombo yesterday, Ambassador Temet Sekagulu said Turkey continues to engage with Sri Lankan authorities with enhanced intelligence sharing. She said it will help to build a strong, vigilant and comprehensive response to terrorism. The ambassador said the tragic events that unfolded on the 15th of July were not merely acts of terror, but a blatant affront to the founding principles that define the Republic of Turkey and its people, the principles of democracy, freedom and the rule of law. Meanwhile, Turkey's foreign minister has thanked the country's Asian partners at a meeting held in Jakarta, Indonesia, for their support in the fight against FATO. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. An effective long-term program should be prepared following comprehensive discussion by integrating the institutions related to the tourism industry. The Minister of Wildlife and Forest Resources Conservation, Pavitra Vanniyarachchi, says that the purpose of the discussion was to facilitate the online purchasing of tickets and other payment methods for both local and foreign tourists. She added, in order to prepare a joint program for the program, it is a must to unite the institutions related to the tourism industry. The minister made these remarks while joining a discussion held at the ministry's auditorium. The discussion also focused on the preparation of a system for domestic and foreign tourists to make online reservations for bungalows and other lodging establishments, the purchasing of tickets online for national parks, eco parks and zoos, and the ability to meet all tourist needs in one place. The new Central Bank Act will help to maintain its sovereignty and also the economic state of the country. State Minister Ranjit Siambalapitiya says the Act will be presented to Parliament next month. He said the Central Bank should be an independent body, and when the new Act is passed, even the Secretary to the Finance Ministry will not be able to participate in the Financial Committee of the Central Bank. The State Minister made these remarks at a media briefing held in Ruwanvale today.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe has instructed not to conduct any ceremonies to celebrate his first anniversary in office as head of state. The leader of the United National Party, Ranil Wickremesinghe, was sworn in as the 8th executive president of Sri Lanka on the 21st of July 2022. The president was elected through a parliamentary vote to serve the remaining term of his predecessor, former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. President Wickremesinghe, who holds several portfolios including defence and finance, has managed to turn around the economy, which is expected to grow in the third quarter. Considering the progress made by the president during the past year, several factions had proposed to organize ceremonies to mark his first anniversary. President Wickremesinghe, however, has turned down all requests at a time when the country is recovering from the economic crisis.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
And now in Watchlight, a hotline number will be introduced in the next few weeks for students of higher education institutions to immediately call if any student is subject to ragging. The State Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Suren Raghavan, said that the introduction of the new system would help to stop ragging in the higher education institutions in Sri Lanka to some extent in the future. The minister also said that as a result of 8 months of discussions, it was possible to establish a system to protect the human rights covering all the students in the higher education institutions. That came to you in Watchlight in World News Headlines. Thousands evacuated as Canary Island wildfire burned. The UNICEF says at least 289 children died at sea in the first 6 months of this year while attempting to reach Europe. ChatGPT owner in probe over risks around false answers. Thousands of residents of La Palma in the Canary Islands have been urged to leave their homes as emergency workers try to bring a wildfire under control. The blaze began early on Saturday and has already consumed 11,100 acres of land and at least a dozen homes. Around 400 troops from various agencies are on the ground tackling the blaze. Officials said some 4,255 people had been evacuated, but that others were declining to leave. It comes less than 2 years after a volcano erupted on the island, destroying thousands of homes. Fernando Clavijo, president of the island's regional government, said there was resistance to abandoning houses, but the priority had to be saving lives. The blaze began in the area of El Pinar, in the northwestern municipality of Punta Gorda, before spreading south towards the town of Tiafre. The UNICEF says at least 289 children are known to have died at sea in the first 6 months of this year while attempting to reach Europe. The figure is nearly double the number recorded in the first half of 2022. Verena Knaus, the UNICEF's global lead on migration and displacement, said the true figures were likely to be higher as many shipwrecks on the central Mediterranean have left no survivors or go unrecorded. An estimated 11,600 children made the crossing in the first 6 months of 2023, nearly twice as many as at the same period in 2022. In a news briefing at the UN headquarters in Geneva, Now said that in the first 3 months of this year, 3,300 children to Europe via the central route were recorded as unaccompanied or separated. US regulators are probing artificial intelligence company OpenAI over the risks to consumers from ChatGPT generating false information. The Federal Trade Commission sent a letter to the Microsoft-backed business requesting information on how it addresses risks to people's reputations. OpenAI Chief Executive Sam Altman says the company will work with the FTC. ChatGPT generates convincing human-like responses to user queries within seconds instead of the series of links generated by a traditional internet search. The FTC's letter asks what steps OpenAI has taken to address its product's potential to generate statements about real individuals that are false, misleading, disparaging or harmful. The FTC is also looking at OpenAI's approach to data privacy and how it obtains data to train and inform the AI. And now the main points of the World News segment once again. Thousands evacuated as Canary Island wildfire burns. The UNICEF says at least 289 children died at sea in the first 6 months of this year while attempting to reach Europe. ChatGPT owner in probe over risks around false answers. That was World News.
Development News is brought to you by
Vacancies for women from Deshakti Lanka for housemaids in Kuwait, Oman and Saudi Arabia for ages 23 to 58 years. Contact number 037 7500 500.
A decision has been taken to provide another variety of chemical fertilizer free of charge to paddy farmers for the next Maha season. The Agriculture Minister Mahinda Amarveera says one more effective type of chemical fertilizer will be provided free of charge to paddy farmers. The Agriculture Minister added the government took steps to provide free TSP to the paddy farmers free of charge after 3 cropping seasons. Accordingly, vouchers were issued for the amount of 20,000 rupees for a hectare and 40,000 rupees for 2 hectares.
Vacancies for women from Deshakti Lanka for housekeepers, home cooks, caretakers and home nurses in Kuwait, Oman, Saudi Arabia and Singapore for ages 23 to 57 years. Salaries starting from 156,000 rupees. Interviews with foreign agents are now on. Come whether you have a passport or not. Branches, Colombo, Kurunagala, Anuradhapura and Matara. Contact number 037 7500 500.
And now in sports news, Sri Lanka's Tharushi Karunaratne won gold in the women's 800 metres event at the Asian Athletics Championship in Thailand, breaking a 25-year-old championship record. Karunaratne clocked a time of 2 minutes and 0.68 seconds, surpassing the previous record of 2:1.16 set by Zhang Zhan of China in 1998. Sri Lanka took 2 of the 3 podium places, with Gayatika Tharushi Aberatne finishing in 3rd place in the women's 800 metres. She holds a record for both 400 metres and 800 metres events at the All-Ireland School Games 2019, while being the gold medalist for both events. She also holds a record for the 800 metres at the Sir John Tarbert Senior Championships 2019 and is a gold medalist for both 400 metres and 800 metres events. She was awarded the Best Female Athlete under 16 at the provincial meet in 2019. Last month, Karunaratne clinched a gold medal in the women's 800 metres event and the silver medal in the women's 400 metres competition at the 20th Asia Under-20 Junior Athletics Championship.
Go ekak thiyana youth ekata life ekේ change ekata niyameta set wenna as wahagena dakapu gina habe karanna youth ekata niyameta set wenna friendship ekaka menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB I Am, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
A beer maker founded in San Francisco in 1896 that promotes itself as America's first craft brewer is closing its doors. The company Anchor said it would cease operations and liquidate the business, pointing to years of falling sales. Japanese brewing giant Sapporo, which purchased the company in 2017, said efforts to revive the brand had failed. This was an extremely difficult decision, Anchor Brewing spokesman Sam Singer said, quote, "We recognize the importance and historic significance of Anchor to San Francisco and to the craft brewing industry, but the impacts of the pandemic, inflation and a highly competitive market left the company with no option but to make this sad decision," unquote, he said.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go එකක් තියන youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගින හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
And now in economic news.
The central bank has recommended the relaxation of import controls of 900 items except for motor vehicles, the central bank's governor Nandalal Veerasinghe said, and about 300 items will remain under import controls thereafter except for motor vehicles and some other items. Relaxing import control will also boost tax revenues. Government controlled the imports of over 3,000 items in 2020 after the deployment of macroeconomic policies in the form of rate cuts on top of tax cuts, which blew a hole in the balance of payments.
Weather report.
The Met Department predicts several spells of showers in the western, Sabaragamuwa and northwestern provinces and in the Kandy, Nuwara Eliya, Gala and Matara districts. The Met Department said showers or thundershowers can be expected at a few places in the Uva and eastern provinces during the evening or at night. Meanwhile, the general public has been requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during the thundershowers. That was the weather report, and now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. The President Ranil Wickremesinghe says no to any ceremonies to mark his first anniversary in office. The government is to strengthen cooperation with New Zealand. The ambassador of Turkey says elements of the Fethullahist terrorist organization eliminated from Sri Lanka after successful joint efforts. An effective long-term program to be launched to integrate institutions related to the tourism industry. The government says the new Central Bank Act will help to maintain its sovereignty. In world news, ChatGPT owner in probe over risks around false answers. In sports news, Parushi Karnaratne breaks 25-year-old Asian record to win gold. That concludes this news broadcast. You're with Radio Sri Lanka.